Hey guys, thank you so much for selecting this episode. I'm glad to talk to you today. My name is Nika and I'm the host of the Prosta English podcast. If you have been following this podcast for a while, thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate your attention and all the positive messages you sent me on Instagram. Thank you for sharing this podcast with your friends, colleagues, and acquaintances. Actually, many people come to my blog on Instagram saying, my friend recommended this podcast to me and I fell in love with it. Oh my God, you guys simply can't imagine what these words mean to me. Because I know that you can advertise anything using social media or Google Ads and etc. But when people recommend something to others, not because they are paid or get any bonus for it, just because they like it or find useful and inspiring, that's the greatest reward. And if you are new here, welcome. Welcome to the podcast created for language learners. Here we talk basically about everything like life, traveling, love, hobbies, health, holidays, various adventures, and my personal experience using simple vocabulary. And I hope that with the help of this podcast, you will improve your listening skills and build a habit of listening to audios in English. So let's get started. Usually, before recording new episodes, I clearly know the topic that I want to discuss with you. I know what I want to say, and I even have a plan written on a piece of paper with some key points. But today, I'm sitting in front of the microphone without any particular plan. To be honest, I have a lot of things I want to share with you. For example, our recent trip to England, my summer plans and activities that I'm currently enjoying. Also, a burnout I experienced this winter and how I went through it and how I feel now, and so on and so forth. But last week, I was constantly thinking about what to focus on in my next podcast, and I was not able to choose. So I decided just to take a microphone and start recording and see where my thoughts and my feelings at the moment bring me. I believe that all of you know this feeling when you want to do something so badly and you are constantly thinking about it. But in the end, you do nothing. You just keep postponing this activity because it looks overwhelming. And you are already tired of thinking about all this stuff. In this case, the best decision is to take a step, just one simple step. And you will see that it will be easier to take the next and then the next steps. So for me, this first step was about taking out the microphone, connecting it to my computer, and pressing the record button. Usually, before every season, I create a bucket list. A bucket list is a list of activities you want to complete. For example, a summer bucket list can include picking berries, attending a music festival, watching movies outdoors, practicing yoga outdoors, visiting a zoo, traveling, and so on. Usually, these lists help me make the most of each season and also have fun. For example, if I don't know what to do, I can look through my list and then I can select something from there. And I know that it will be exciting and fun. And also, at the end of the season, with the help of such to do lists, I can analyze the past 3 months and I can consciously notice that I had an active and fulfilled life. But this summer, I haven't created any lists because there is just one activity that I want to do. And this activity sounds like this: I want to enjoy this summer. Yeah, really. I want to focus not on crossing out activities and tasks from my bucket list, but I want to focus on living and feeling every single moment of this summer. In winter, I experienced burnout. Maybe one day I will record a separate episode about it. But in a nutshell, it happened because I was working 10 to 15 hours daily without proper days off, not separating work and life, and not noticing how much I was doing. But now I'm trying to recover and set some boundaries between work and life. And I'm also trying to find this well known work life balance because now, at this moment, this is not just a random expression for me, it's a matter of my health and my well being. And I understand now that it's very serious. And if I don't find it, if I do not find this work life balance, such burnouts can repeat and the consequences will be more severe and serious for me. It happens because I'm an absolute workaholic. I do not get tired of working and I love what I do. And I adore developing my business and seeing how my school grows. But I know that if I want to be successful and healthy in the long run, I must focus on my rest as much as on my work. So this summer, my plan is to rest. Of course, I will keep working despite summer, the season which seems to be not very popular among students. I have four courses from beginner to advanced going at the moment with more than 100 students in total. And I also have a speaking club, and I have recently been invited to conduct some corporate classes for an IT company. And in addition to that, my pages on Instagram and Telegram, and also this podcast, this is my work too. So I need to leave separate hours for creating and developing content on these platforms. But despite all of this, I want to notice this summer and I want to have proper rest by enjoying simple and basic things. For example, I would like to meet with my friends every week or even more often if it's possible, because in winter I didn't have time to hang out with friends. And also, I'd like to chat about life, visit some beautiful cafes and restaurants with beautiful terraces, go to parks and the city center. Some weeks ago, my friend and I took a beach cover, some canvases, paints, and brushes, and we went to the beach to draw. Before that, we found some paintings on Pinterest and we tried to repeat them. And I remember it was so relaxing and so unwinding. And there was a moment when we couldn't select the colors for our painting, and we started laughing so badly, saying, "Oh my God, I wish our greatest problem in life was which color to choose for the painting." Yeah, it was a very, very, very lovely day. One more thing that I want to do this summer is to spend as much time as possible outdoors. After a long and busy working days at 7 or 8 p.m., I might think, oh no, it's already too late and I will stay at home and watch some series. No way, not this summer. This summer, I want to go outside whenever I have a free minute. And if it's really too late to drive to the seaside, because now we live on the outskirts and it takes around 30 minutes to get there by car, we can simply go outside with my husband and play tennis or basketball in the nearest yard. Or we can drive to the lake, which is located 10 minutes away by car from our home, and have a picnic there. We can grab some berries and beverages and enjoy the beauty of nature. By the way, this summer I want to eat a lot of berries because after a long and gray winter, I feel that I lack vitamins in my body and I want to refill this deficiency. So, almost every day we buy strawberries, raspberries, and sweet cherries in the local markets. One more activity that I want to bring back to my life is sports. I used to be a sports addicted person and I trained regularly. I went to the gym, went running, cycling, and etc. And if I couldn't go to the gym, I would, for example, train at home. But the last half a year, when I was experiencing this emotional burnout, I stopped doing sports. And I can say now that it was the worst decision ever because I feel that my body got weak and I do not like the quality of my skin. And I feel that I get tired faster and I have got some problems with my back due to this sedentary lifestyle. So, this summer, I want to get back on track, and I've already ordered a new mat for home training. This mat is very colorful and very bright, and I love the way it looks. And I also bought an unlimited subscription for one app with diverse trainings, including yoga, stretching, power trainings, trainings for losing weight, and etc. I haven't tried it yet, but after I finish recording this episode, I promise I will complete at least a 30-minute workout. But anyway, I think that doing sports in summer is much easier than in winter. You can, for example, swim in the sea, in lakes or rivers. You can go subboarding or rollerblading and cycling. And if you go to the gym, you can put on only shorts and a t shirt, and you do not need to cover yourself in like 50 layers of clothes. And if you want to train using videos on YouTube or any apps, you can grab a mat, go to the yard, place this mat on the grass, and that's it. Start exercising. Yeah. As you see, by sharing this information, I'm convincing myself that it will not be so difficult to bring sport back into my life. And yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. Talking about summer, I cannot say that I'm a huge fan of traveling. Usually it's boiling hot and there are crowds of tourists and cafes are overpriced and good hotels are fully booked. For me, the best seasons for traveling are fall and spring, but maybe I'm saying that because I live in Gdańsk and summer is the best season to stay here and enjoy the sea, the beach, and the good weather. So, I do not plan to travel a lot this summer, but if you follow me on Instagram, you already know that I've recently returned from England, but we wouldn't have gone there if my visa hadn't been expiring. If you remember, in February, I opened a visa to visit my cousin in London, and I've talked more about this trip in episode 24. So go back to it if you haven't listened to it yet. And I shared there my impressions about London and also some pros and cons of living there. So, I got this visa only for half a year and it was expiring in July. And I wanted to go to the UK one more time because I paid 250 euros for that visa, which is a lot. And due to that, I wanted to use this visa at least two times. And actually, in April, my cousin moved from London to a small town located in the Cornwall region. And this region is popular among locals, among British people. If people go to London to get inspired and see the architecture and museums and cultural life and etc., people go to Cornwall to enjoy nature. And they come there to swim in the ocean, do water sports like surfing, and also go hiking. We are not crazy. We do not like freezing water. The temperature outside during the daytime was plus 17 degrees only. So you can imagine that the water was not warmer than 10 degrees. But we enjoyed the hikes and explored some cities in the Cornwall region. And it was a really cool trip. But about this experience, I will tell you more precisely in the next episode because there are lots of details and fun moments that I want to share with you. So stay tuned. Follow this podcast not to miss the story about my English adventures and, in general, the next episodes of this podcast. See you next time, guys. Keep in touch. Have a wonderful summer. Bye bye.